In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on January 7, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. St. John's versus Xavier. The Hardwood will host a clash between 2 Big East rivals, each looking to secure an important victory as they meet in the Buckeye State. The St. John's Red Storm will take to the road to face the Xavier Musketeers on Tuesday night. In their most recent outing on Sunday, St. John's secured a 70-62 victory at home against Butler, though they failed to cover the spread as heavy 11.5-point favorites. On the other hand, Xavier is coming off a tough 69-63 road loss to Georgetown on Saturday, where they also failed to cover as 1.5-point underdogs. Historically, Xavier has held the upper hand in this matchup, boasting a 17-6 advantage in the all-time series. This includes their most recent meeting on January 31, 2024, when the Musketeers earned an 88-77 victory on their home court. Xavier enters this game on a challenging stretch, having dropped 4 of their last 5 contests. The Musketeers are seeking to reverse their fortunes as they return to their home floor, where they've been formidable with an impressive 8-1 record this season. Their lone home defeat came in a nail-biting 2-point loss to Marquette. However, Xavier's struggles in close games have been a significant issue. They are just 1-5 in games decided by 6 points or fewer. That lone win came against a South Carolina State team ranked 216th in Ken Palm rankings, highlighting the team's difficulties in tight situations. Meanwhile, St. John's has been on a tear, winning 7 of their last 8 games, with their only setback during this stretch being a narrow 1-point loss to Creighton. The Red Storm boasts impressive depth and a robust defensive presence, making them a tough opponent. The Xavier Musketeers find themselves in a slump, having lost 4 of their last 5 games and facing increasing questions about their offensive capabilities. Their most recent performance against Georgetown was lackluster on the offensive end, raising doubts about whether they can turn things around in this matchup. In contrast, the St. John's Red Storm has been a consistent performer on both ends of the court. They've demonstrated an above-average ability to execute offensively and defensively, which has contributed to their successful run. If not for a narrowly missed opportunity against Creighton, St. John's could potentially be looking at wins in 9 of their last 10 games. Additionally, the Red Storm has proven they can compete effectively on the road. If Xavier doesn't come prepared and ready to play at a high level, this could easily result in another defeat for the Musketeers. So the St. John's Red Storm to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. St. John's has consistently trended toward lower scoring games recently, with the under hitting a 3-1 record in their last 5 outings ahead of this matchup. The Red Storm has excelled defensively, ranking 8th in defensive efficiency. They are also 75th in effective field goal percentage defense, allowing opponents to shoot just 47.7%, 18th in forced turnover percentage at 22.4%, 80th in field goal percentage defense at 41%, and an impressive 37th in 2-point defense, limiting opponents to 45.1%. Despite their defensive strength, St. John's plays with a relatively fast pace, ranking 62nd in adjusted tempo with an average of 71.1 possessions per game. Xavier, similarly, has seen lower scoring games, with the under hitting 6-3-1 in their last 10 contests. The Musketeers are also solid defensively, ranking 66th in defensive efficiency, 93rd in effective field goal percentage defense at 48.3%, and 65th in 2-point defense, holding opponents to 46.2% shooting inside the arc. However, Xavier plays at a more moderate pace, ranking 122nd in adjusted tempo with an average of 69.6 possessions per game. For St. John's, the total has been evenly split this season, sitting at 7-1. However, when the total has been set at 151 points or fewer, the under has hit in St. John's games with a 5-4-1 record. Similarly, Xavier has leaned toward the under with a 10-4-1 record overall this season and a 6-3 mark in games played on their home court. While St. St. John's ranks 63rd in pace of play. Their struggles from beyond the arc place them among the worst three-point shooting teams in the country. Meanwhile, Xavier's pace of play ranks 123rd, reflecting a more measured approach offensively. Given both teams' strong defensive capabilities, St. John's shooting woes from the perimeter, and Xavier's slower pace, this game is likely to fall a few points short of the projected total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tennessee versus Florida. The number 8 Florida Gators are set to host the number 1 Tennessee Volunteers on Tuesday night in what many are calling one of the most eagerly awaited college basketball games of the season thus far. The Volunteers enter the contest with a strong track record against the Gators, having won 4 of their last 5 head-to-head matchups. Additionally, Tennessee managed to cover the spread in 3 of those victories, showcasing their ability to perform well against this rival. Both teams approach this showdown boasting some of the most impressive records in the nation. However, Florida will have the advantage of playing on their home court, which could play a pivotal role in their performance. The Gators are coming off a tough road loss to Kentucky, and while they have an impressive win over UNC on their resume, their schedule so far hasn't been particularly challenging. On the other hand, Tennessee remains undefeated this season and is coming off a dominant 24-point victory over Arkansas. Known for their suffocating defense, the Volunteers are allowing an average of just 56 points per game. However, they will face one of the highest scoring teams in the country, as Florida is averaging an impressive 88 points per game. The home court advantage may provide the Gators with a significant boost, especially during the early stages of the game. Both teams are exceptional, and strong arguments can be made in favor of either side emerging victorious in this matchup. Tennessee, however, has been nothing short of dominant this season and has already secured notable road victories against Louisville and Illinois. Despite this game posing the most difficult road challenge they've faced so far, the Volunteers hold the edge in shooting ability and maintain their status as the best defensive team in the country. Considering the opportunity to back the nation's top-ranked team with points and the possibility of plus money, it's a risk worth taking. This promises to be an exciting and closely contested game, but my pick leans toward Tennessee, as they've proven their capability to win high-stakes matchups away from home. So the Tennessee Volunteers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. While Tennessee's defense is undeniably elite, this game also features a wealth of offensive talent on both sides. The Gators have only been held to fewer than 83 points on one occasion this season, while Tennessee has managed to score at least 75 points in 11 of their 14 games. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Kentucky versus Georgia. The Kentucky Wildcats will travel to Athens, Georgia on Tuesday evening to face the Georgia Bulldogs in what will be the second Southeastern Conference matchup for both teams this season. The Wildcats currently hold an impressive 12-2 record overall and have started conference play with a 1-0 record following a thrilling victory over Florida on Saturday. On the other hand, the Bulldogs also boast a 12-2 overall record but find themselves at 0-1 in Southeastern Conference play after dropping their conference opener on the road to Ole Miss last Saturday. In their last outing, the Wildcats showcased an exceptional offensive performance, defeating a strong Florida team thanks to an impressive 57.8% shooting from the field. They also displayed remarkable ball movement, recording 25 team assists while committing only 6 turnovers. Despite slowing down in the second half, Kentucky allowed Florida to shoot 55% from the floor, yet still managed to secure a significant win. This victory marked the 5th time in their last 6 games that the Wildcats have scored 78 or more points, including 4 instances where they tallied 88 points or more. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs struggled significantly in their most recent contest against a formidable Ole Miss team. Georgia endured one of their poorest shooting performances of the season, managing only 29.3% from the field and a dismal 11.1% from beyond the arc, connecting on just 2 of 1-8 attempts. The Bulldogs also committed 15 turnovers, which led to 15 points for Ole Miss. This resulted in Georgia's lowest scoring game of the year by a wide margin. However, prior to that outing, the Bulldogs had scored 69 or more points in 6 consecutive games. To remain competitive against a high-powered Kentucky team, Georgia will need a strong offensive performance. The Wildcats enter this game riding the momentum of a victory over a top 5 opponent. but this matchup is unlikely to be a trap game. Kentucky still remembers their 7-point loss to Georgia during Southeastern Conference play in February of last season, a defeat that will likely fuel their motivation. The Wildcats' offensive firepower appears to be too overwhelming for the Bulldogs to handle. Kentucky ranks second in the nation in scoring and is one of the premier three-point shooting teams in the country, while Georgia boasts a respectable defense, ranking among the top 50 in various categories. Their level of competition has been relatively weak, as evidenced by their 267th ranked strength of schedule. Kentucky represents the most potent offensive team Georgia has faced so far this season. Additionally, the Wildcats excel on the boards, ranking 7th in the nation in total rebounds, which should allow them to control the game's tempo and dictate the pace. Kentucky has been favored in all but 2 of their games this season, against Duke and Gonzaga, and typically by much wider margins than the current 2.5-point spread. Given this context, Georgia will have minimal room to cover the spread without an outright victory. The Bulldogs have struggled against the spread recently, covering just once in their last 5 games. Moreover, in 3 games as single-digit underdogs against ranked opponents this season, Marquette, St. John's, and Ole Miss, Georgia has suffered double-digit losses in 2 of them. The Wildcats appear poised to be the most challenging team Georgia has faced this year, so the Kentucky Wildcats to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In last season's matchups, the Wildcats averaged an astounding 90 points against the Bulldogs, including a 105-point performance in their home victory. While they likely won't replicate that total on Tuesday night, Kentucky's high-octane offense should still push the pace and drive the game over the projected total. Currently, the Wildcats rank second in the nation in scoring and maintain the 41st fastest pace of play. Their dominance on the boards will enable them to control the tempo, while Georgia struggles with turnovers, ranking 276th in the country and fewest turnovers per game, will likely contribute to Kentucky's ability to capitalize on transition opportunities. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Michigan versus UCLA. The Michigan Wolverines and the UCLA Bruins will face off on Tuesday in a highly anticipated college basketball matchup at Pauley Pavilion. This game brings together 2 competitive teams, each with its own strengths and areas of improvement. Both teams will be looking to continue their respective journeys in the season with a crucial victory. In their most recent win, the Wolverines played impressively against a solid USC team, showcasing strong offensive performances across the board. They managed to shoot an efficient 52.7% from the field, and their shooting from beyond the arc was also respectable, hitting 10 of 24 attempts for 41.7%. On top of that, Michigan was accurate at the free throw line, sinking 17 of their 21 attempts for a solid 81%. The only noticeable flaw in their performance was their 14 turnovers, which could have cost them had USC capitalized on those mistakes. Despite a couple of losses over the past month, the Wolverines have continued to put up impressive offensive numbers. In fact, Michigan has scored 85 or more points in 6 consecutive games, going 4-2 over that span, and has scored at least 70 points in every game except one, which was a 67-point performance against Wisconsin. With their high-scoring capabilities, Michigan is expected to put up another strong offensive effort on Tuesday. On the other hand, UCLA's recent performance against Nebraska was less than stellar. They struggled offensively, shooting just 38.6% from the field and committed 15 turnovers, which led to 17 points for Nebraska. Over the last 2 games, the Bruins have managed just 123 combined points, which is well below their typical scoring output. Despite this recent dip in performance, UCLA has shown they are capable of better offensive displays. However, even with home court advantage, I don't believe UCLA will be able to keep pace with Michigan if the Wolverines play to their full potential. So the Michigan Wolverines to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to UCLA, one thing is almost certain: their games tend to be low-scoring affairs. This season, UCLA's defense has been impressive, allowing just 95 points per game on average, which has been a key factor in their success. They will undoubtedly focus on tightening up their defense against Michigan in this game. While Michigan has had a strong offensive season overall, they are expected to face significant challenges in generating consistent scoring against UCLA's defense. At the same time, UCLA's offense is not likely to break away and dominate, which will help keep the game's score lower than expected. As a result, the game is expected to stay under the projected total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.